Sabi ko, Joe, mag-usap tayo, di ba? I am open to a business, but I am not willing to listen to anything about skincare, lipstick, or makeup. Sabi ni Pax, napaka-unfair mo naman. So, unfair. Ikaw unfair. Kung sinabi mo sa akin, wala ko dito ngayon. Sabi niya, Pax, sabi mo, open ka. Why would you judge this business over a few seconds when you've not seen the whole picture? Diba? Sabi ko, Joe, naman, ano ba pag-uusapan natin? Kabentahan mo lipstick at saka makeup, di ba? So at that time, our best product was the feminine wash. Okay? Okay? It smells good. And on Valentine's Day, it tastes even better. Now, can you imagine me actually doing a business like that? You know, I remember using the same joke in Australia. They were not smiling. Okay? In fact, after the meeting, someone told me, Pax, that joke does not work in Australia. Please don't use it again. Okay? Sabi ko, grabe lang itong Australia, walang sense of humor. But really, can you imagine me doing that business? Kunyari, feminine wash, free demo. Okay? That makes sense, right? So sabi ko, no, this is not for me. Sabi niya, Pax, alam mo, hindi to katarin lang, wala mang mawawala sa iyo. Sabi niya, look at the bigger picture, stay for 30 minutes more, and if you don't like what you hear, umuwi ka na, because this might not be for you. Fortunately, grabe ang traffic sa Pilipinas. So I felt like, instead of maghintay ako, I go to traffic, I'll just wait it out, wait for 30 minutes, and then see what happens after that. And you know what? I'm so glad I did. Because of that 30 minutes that I stayed longer, you know, it completely changed my life. I never thought I'd be in a business like this, because you are so lucky today seeing a genetic company. Back then, there were reasons why we shouldn't do it. Okay? So I look at the whole picture, and I realized, why not? Kung part-time lang naman. If it's going to change your future, what have you got to do? I stayed on. In fact, that evening, hindi lang na ako nag-stay. I actually got very, very excited, signed up in the business, did it part-time for a year and a half, and I have been full-time now for close to 14 years. Wow. Okay? This business is older than my son. He's only 10. So you can begin to imagine, did it change my life? Yes, it did. Okay, but I don't want to talk about my life lang. I want to talk about how many lives it has changed already in the past 15 to 16 years. I'm going to be inviting people to speak in front so you can see that this is real. Because if you had joined years ago, it was all about faith. Faith, pala, faith. Meron yung Bisaya. Faith! Bakit? Because maniniwala ka bang mangyayari ito, wala naman nakagawa pa. Ngayon kasi, marami na kami nagagawa pa. In fact, yung mga pictures namin. Okay? Kaya, yung mga mukha ng iba, malalaki kasi gwapo sila. Kaya ka pumayag. Sabi ko, pag malayo yung picture, hindi makita yung mukha ko, yung kotse lang. Okay? That way, at least attractive yung picture. Okay? Kasi si Dennis sobrang gwapo, di ba? Maniniwala ka talaga na maganda ang product. Pag sa mukha ko, hindi ka maniniwala. Kung sa BMW, maniniwala. So, that's why, nandyan yung mga mukha namin. Just to show you na hindi mo kailangan maging gwapo para mag-succeed. Okay? So, I did this business for a year and a half part-time. Now, ultimately, the real question is this bucket box. Why would you, an engineer, do something like that? And my answer to that is this. Whether you or I like it or not, do we all have big dreams, yes or no? Yes. According to a Stanford study, every dream we want falls into one category. So let's play a game. Okay, let's play a game of seeing the future and having very big dreams. So I want you to choose 1, 2, or 3. Mamaya, sa next slide, babaliktad yung yung picture. Ano yung number na napili mo, may prize sa likod. Okay? So, choose as many as you like, okay? And then share it to the person beside you. Go! Stop! Okay, nakangiti na kayo. Mas masaya ito because may prize sa likod ng picture, okay? Ready? 1, 2, wala pong prize. Seriously, these dreams are the prize, yes or no? Whatever number you chose. My son said, lahat. Sabi ng anak ko, lahat yan gusto ko lagi. Very good. Okay? Do we all want those dreams for ourselves? Yes or no? Yes. When? When do we want it? And every time when I show it, every time I show this to people, walang mintis, they'll always say no. You know, I wish we want something, it's merong genie, lalabas na lang bigla. Tama? But the reality is this, whether you like it or not, we all have to have a real vehicle for getting there. Because in fact, do we all have big dreams, yes or no? Yes. How many actually get there? By the time you and I are 65 years old, according to these insurance statistics, most people will not get there. In fact, will end up either dead or dead broke. So, mili ka ng gusto mo. Dead broke. Okay? Baon sa lupa, baon sa utang. Now, very often, I hear people say, mag-iipon ako ng pera, Pax, so that someday makarating ako doon. I'll tell you this, statistically, saving will never get us there. Nobody will get there through saving. The only way to get there is to find out how did the few people actually get there. Tama, hindi? Because ultimately, it's really about creating the future we want. True or true? True or true? Let me tell you why I got interested. You see, I have 3 courses. Okay? I'm telling you this not to brag about success in my corporate career. But so you understand that like you, I also had a very ordinary background. Like you, I had very, very big dreams and I worked so hard to get there. I'm an engineer, tatlong kurso. CE, COM-E, and IE. Okay? Now, tulad sa sinasabi ni Luigi, I was very good in school. I was an honor student simula bata hanggang college. Okay? Cum laude in all of my courses. Okay? Because of that, San Miguel offered me a good job when I graduated. So I joined San Miguel as management trainee for a couple of years. And then I went to Pepsi Cola. Bakit? We transferred because we were offered double, triple the income. 200 of us from Pepsi Cola were transferred from San Miguel, and Coke were transferred to Pepsi. If you were offered double or triple your income, would you transfer? Yes. Definitely. In fact, lumipat ako, nakalimutan ko yung ano yung trabaho. Okay? So when I got to Pepsi Cola, tinanong ko, boss, anong trabaho ko? Sabi niya, HR. Sabi ko, boss, ang dami kong kurso, wala man lang tumama kahit isa. Anong gagawin ko dito? And I remember him giving a simple consolation. So in fact, huwag kang makalala. Anyway, I will train you naman for 1 year. Okay? I will give you 3, double your income. Would you do it? Yes. Actually, hindi ko na narinig yung train you for 1 year. Narinig ko na lang, double your income. I mean, so I did new skill. Now, why do I tell you this? Because most people I've talked to years ago often tell me, Pax, engineer tayo. Why are we doing this? Or accounting ako, wala akong kalalam sa skincare products. And do we all agree that sometimes we are so into a world where kung hindi ko linya, hindi ko gagawin yan. Agree or disagree? Di ba? But when you really think about it, anong yun? Bakit? Kasi if it were really about linya, or is it really about getting to the life you want? You know, I have so many friends have stuck with engineering all 20 years, last 20 years. But they're not getting anywhere. In fact, nagkikita kami sa reunion, nabibiruan kami, kadalasan, yung income nila in 1 year is my tax per month. Is that a very good income? Yes. Now, years ago, I never thought I'd get this income. But I'm telling you this, with genetics, you can actually make more. Remember, Gina and I, we succeeded with a skincare product. Kung skincare product, and we can succeed, I'm sure you can succeed so much better than us. So, when to Pepsi Cola, ang Quran is it called doing something was never my linear. Okay? And before I went full-time, okay, I was supposed to join Shell. Okay? If I had not gone full-time with my wife, I would be with Shell today, doing a very, very good career. You see, at the age of 22, I became area manager for Luzon and Pepsi Cola at 22 years old. In every company I joined, I've always been the youngest manager. Okay? And like most managers, my income went up very, very fast. Okay? At the age of 22, I made 30,000 a month. Is that a very good income? Okay? So a 22-year-old boy, 20 years ago, is a 30,000 income a good income? Yes. I was 24, 25 when I made 50. At the age of 26, I was Asia Pacific manager for Shell. So if you were 26 years old, 14 years ago, and you were given a 6-figure income, may pabahay, may pakotse, may rent allowance, may gas allowance, semi-annual bonus, 13th month, 14th, 15th, at saka stock options. Would you be excited to pursue a Shell career? Yes. Yes or no? Yes. How many of you would give it up for lipstick and makeup? Yung bang, ayoko ng share. Gusto ko talaga ng demo-demo na lipstick. And this is the part my friends never understood. I'm telling you this now, many of my friends did not join, including my own siblings. Tatay ko, nanay ko, mga kapatid ko, they all told me how stupid I was for living a shelter. Now, if you were in my case, if you were in my position, would it have been easy to give up a career like that? Yes or no? No. Now, this is my question. What is the only reason you give up a career like that to something like lipstick and makeup? Two, mag-iisip ka ba ng malalim, yes or no? Yes or no? It could only have been bigger, di ba? Unfortunately, I thought it was very clear for me. It was very clear for me, but unfortunately, it wasn't clear to many of my friends. We are here this afternoon so you understand, and we hope you see the bigger picture. Today, there's proof, so it's easier. But back then, we relied on faith that someday it will indeed work. To me, it was simply logical. Bakit? If I ask you, do you have very big dreams, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
But whatever it is you do right now, will it get you there in the next 5 to 10 years? Maybe, maybe not. According to Robert Kiyosaki in his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, there are only 4 ways to get there. I'm not going to discuss all of them, but he said, okay, the people on the left side, the employed and the self-employee, will never get there, and the people on the right have a chance for getting there. Bakit? He talks about what he calls, okay, assets. You see, think about this. 95% of the world are in the left side of the quadrant. And yet, all the money is on the right side of the quadrant. If you have a choice logically, which would you choose? Being on the left or being on the right?
Right.
Tama. There is no question, everyone's going to be on the right. Ang tanong, why aren't we there? Why are we stuck here on the left, when ideally only the right side of the quadrant gives us wealth, gives us asset to live a better life? Why? See, every negosyante understands this. When you look at statistics, 70% of everyone who's ever wealthy did it by doing their business. Tama hindi? Tama hindi?
Yes.
So if I ask you again, if I have very big dreams, is my vehicle or a business important for getting there? Yes or yes?
Yes.
Where are we there? And every time I tell my friends, the reason we're not is because not because we don't want to, because most of us do not have the ability to start it up. Because traditionally, if you want a very big business, money, in fact, heavy capitalization is important. True or true? True or true?
True.
So do we want a business? Yes. Do you have money? Maybe not. Diba? Pangalawa. And even if we did have money to start, are we certain of success? Hindi rin. Bakit? Because most people who have money, alam niyo, ang dami kong kaibigan, siyempre diba? As a very young manager, the people who were my level in corporate life were very often twice my age. So, okay, they were twice. If I'm 40 right now, how old do you think they are? Between 60 to 80 years old. Tama. They all told me, I'm going to wait until I'm 60, save enough money to start a business when they're 60. But this is the problem. When they get into business, they discover that to succeed, it requires huge competence. Who among you would agree na hindi madaling magnegosyo? Very good. I'm in a very smart room. I have so many friends kasi who insist, Pax, kung magnegosyo rin lang ako, ayoko ng skincare. Ang gusto ko, food. Kasi lahat kumakain. Tama, hindi. Have you heard it before?
Yes.
Ang counter ko doon palagi, oo nga, lahat kumakain. Ang tanong, hindi kung lahat kumakain. Tanong kung merong hindi kumakain. So, bakit? Because if you start your restaurant, how many people are not yet eating elsewhere? Tama, hindi. So, if you start your restaurant, what will make them eat in your restaurant? Leave where they're currently eating. Kasi yung pagkain mo, nagpapalipad ng tao. So tell me, what can you cook today that isn't sold out there already? So I tell my friends, food might be the worst business to get into. Bakit? Lahat kumakain na. True or true?
True.
So I tell them, if you're gonna go into a business, you probably want to go in an industry where there are very few participating yet. Agree or disagree?
Yes.
And this is why we're here. Because most people don't understand that yes, we all want to be in business, but not everyone actually succeeds. Let me back up a little bit. You see, if you want to succeed, the best option, kung meron kang pera, is to be in a franchise. Diba? McDonald's, Jollibee. Because your chance of success is higher because they provide a system that allows success. True or true? E paano yan, Pax, kung gusto ko mag-succeed? Wala akong alam, wala akong pera. Who can relate? Ako ganun. Gusto kong yumaman, pero wala akong alam, wala akong pera. And if you're willing to admit, raise your hands. Because if you and I are in the same boat, then this is our final chance. See, business is available only to the few who have money, who have the ability. Not everyone will get it. So kung ang family mo pakulaba lang, wala kang chance. And I always tell my friends, the Kuwangkos, okay, the Lopezes, okay, the Belhagens, okay, have a chance. Bakit? Because they were born from rich families, probably with the competence to start a business. Kung pakulaba lang ang pamalinay mo, this is probably your only chance. And although my parents were doing very well in our businesses, I did not want to use the money to start. I wanted to start completely on my own. And when I did understand that, I realized why not. Distribution is a business started by Sam Walker. Are you familiar?
Yes.
He is the guy who owns Walmart. Our business is no different. It's about creating sales volume all over the world in a way cheap enough for you and I to do. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Now, obviously, if this were the only business I can succeed in, ang tanong, will all businesses in this industry work for you? And that's the first thing I want to say. Last Thursday, I was talking to this guy who owns a construction company. And he was telling me, Pax, you cannot blame me for not believing because maraming nag-fail. Agree or disagree? I've heard of horror stories. Sabi ko sa kanya, I agree. In fact, I would admit there are more horror stories than heavenly ones. Tama hindi?
Yes.
Sabi ko sa kanya, but this is the best part. You're sitting in a heavenly one right now. So sabi ko sa kanya, it does not make sense to keep using the same information. It should be updated for the purposes of changing your future. Agree or disagree? It doesn't matter how many friends you have failed. Only matters whether you have a chance. Bakit? Because if they fail, does that guarantee your failure? No. Sample lang. Sa buong batch namin, okay, ang cum laude pataas, mga 20, 30, 50. 50 out of 1,000 cum laudes. Out of the 50 cum laudes, none of them make my income. Why? Why? Because I didn't follow what traditionally is being used out there. If you want to change your future, you can't keep using old information, opinions, or belief to guide you. You have to be willing to take a different type of risk. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
Now, mas kasi risky. I know. That's why we have to be educated. So sabi ko sa kanya, Pards, I understand. In construction, will all construction companies succeed? Yes or yes? No. So what makes you successful? Sabi niya, because I know the industry. Exactly. So in our business, you also have to understand and you have to get educated. Nobody succeeds without the education required to create success. Agree or disagree? So in our industry, there are 5 criteria for success. The first one is this: you need to have the right, you need to be the right market. Because if you were selling the wrong products, I don't care how amazing you are, there's no chance. You can't sell pagers today. Agree or disagree? Samahan mo ng ice cream. Samahan mo ng babae. Sorry. Samahan mo ng bahay. You can't just sell pagers today. Bakit? Outdated na. It's in the wrong trend. Tama hindi. Number 2, okay, you have to have products. Hindi pwedeng yung product mo available kahit saan. I'm afraid, Pax, ang product namin San Miguel products. So, San Miguel, di ba? San Miguel, grabe. Sorry for San Miguel people, okay? This is the company selling San Miguel products. And I was telling him, I admire San Miguel products. I came from the same company. But that will not work. Why? Sabi niya, why? Because you have to convince San Miguel to stop selling in the stores. Bakit? Because ikaw, nabenta ng San Miguel. San Miguel, nabenta ng San Miguel. Sino mananalo? San Miguel. So the only way for you to win is if they stop selling their products and you are exclusively the one doing it. That's why New Skin does not sell products of New Skin. That is the only way. Because if you go to the counter, they'll tell you, look for a distributor, they're the one selling, we're not. That's how this business works. Because if somebody else holds these same products, you're dead. But on a prepaid card, 7-Eleven is offering it. Most people don't understand the knowledge required to succeed in this business. Not all companies are created the same. Third, do you need a world-class partner? Yes or no? Yes. I met someone who said, Pax, ba't hindi ka maka-Pilipino? Sumali ka sa kumpanyang ang gumawa at tayo Pilipino talaga. Sabi ko, that's well and good, sabi ko sa kanya. But I'm not joining to be makabayan. I'm joining to secure my son's future. Agree or disagree? I told him if I want to be patriotic, I pay my taxes well. But if I want to wear shoes, I want to wear shoes that is the same value as the money I give away. Yes or yes? Kung bayad ka rin lang, gusto mo maganda. Tama, hindi? Hindi because sariling atin. So it forces Filipino companies to compete in the world. Agree or disagree? Everybody like us wins in that market. Pangalawa, sabi ko sa kanya, Pards, pagdating sa negosyo, ano gusto mo? Dollar, peso. Sabi niya, dollar! O ba't ka sa Pilipino na kumpanya? Dollar ko lang ang gusto mo. Number 3, do you want a product that sells locally or sells globally? Bakit? Mas malaki ang global market versus local market eh. Does that make sense? Yes or no? So I said, this is very important. Pangatlo, can you afford to spend billions to start a business globally? Let me ask you simply. Do you want to sell globally? Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you have the money to sell globally?
No.
That's why partnership is required. So I don't get it. I have a Pax. Wala akong pakialam sa sinasabi mo. Kasi at least kung maninegosyo akin talaga. Ako talaga nag-start. Pangalan ko na sa lisensya. Samantalang ikaw, you are still working for a foreign company. Sabi ko sa kanya, bahala ka sa buhay mo. Because if you're going to be starting your company, you're going to just sell in this market. If I'm going to start a business, I want to sell to the global market. Number 2, I don't want to spend my money. I want someone else to spend the money for me. Agree or disagree? So to me, if a company will pay for my distribution system, why not? Why would you want to pay for it for yourself? Third, do you want to get paid, yes or no?
Yes.
I'll tell you something. Lahat ng matatalino can design a compound plan. You can go to any school, look for mathematicians, they can design it for you. The greatest proof to whether the plan works is kung marami nang nasucceed dahil doon. Yes or no?
Yes.
Ay, pumunta ko sa tabi, ang dami na kaparada, Lamborghini. Sabi ko, ang manloko lang talaga dyan, yung mga tanga, di ba? Bakit? Because I know how to compute plans. When you tell me, Pax, ang kotse niya, Lamborghini, I simply ask, when did you join? 3 months ago. Sabi ko sa kanya, do you realize how many products have to be sold to legitimately make Lamborghini? Iisip ka ba? Sa pakin kita dyan. You cannot convince me that it came from that business. Bakit? Because how many juices do you have to sell to Lamborghini? Now why do I tell you this? Because you and I are smart. I would not risk my VP career without checking it out if it's real. Because in this industry, I didn't join to make $1 million, okay? I joined to make $1 million a month forever. That's the game. Not to make 10, but to make 10 million a month forever. So my friend, si Pax, ang income ng kapaibigan ko in 2 weeks, 5 million. Sabi ko sa kanya, ang income ng highest earner ng kumpanya namin, 150 per month, million. 150 million pesos per month. Tsaha! Sabi ako. Okay. That's why it's important that you understand what this means. And timing is critical. Bakit? Because the opportunity wouldn't be there as big as it is now. Let's go through that. Is Nu Skin the perfect business to get into? Una, let's talk about the industry. Are you familiar with the baby boomers? Yes. Simplify it. They are the ones born within 46 to 64. They are 1/3 of the global population. The youngest is 50, the oldest is 70. 1 billion people at 50 to 70. What do you think they need? They want to get younger. Not only with their face, but with their bodies. Yes or no? Yes. If your business is in the category, is that big? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, number 2, do people want to be sexier? Yes or yes? Yes. Definitely. And number 3, how many do you know wants to make more money? Did we cover all markets? Yes or no? Yes. Kasi ako, I'll be honest, I don't care about skincare products. I didn't care about weight loss products. But I did care about creating a future for my family. In that category, everybody gets hit. Yes or no? Yes. And hindi lang Pilipinas. Okay? Look at this lady. Say hi. Okay. Say hi, say hi. This lady. This is Kaya. She will speak later, so I will not tell her whole story. But because of her, I get paid in Southampton, London. I don't even know any of them. Do you think it matters? No. But if you can get paid a 6-figure income in that market without knowing anyone, would that be a good business? Yes or no? Yes. Yes. And I only spoke to them once, that's it, and I get paid every month. Is that a good income? Yes. Definitely. That's what allows real business to occur. Now, malaki ba talaga yan? I'm not gonna elaborate. I'll simply look at this guy and look at this name. Are they big? Yes or yes? Yes. They are in the industry of biotech and anti-aging. The only advantage we have, if Google and Apple and Bill Gates are excited, should you get excited? Yes or no? Yes. Definitely. Because these are visionaries who see the future. The difference is this, okay? The difference is that very few know it's happening already. Okay, this is the size of the market that would be interested in anti-aging products. But the question is not whether the need is there. How many of you are 30-year-old and above? Raise your hands. Okay, mahiya. Very good. How many of you can relate na nung 20s pa lang tayo, pagising mo, walang sakit sa likod? Pero nung 30 ka na bilang, masakit na. Okay? Pag naramdaman mo na, 30 ka na sigurado. Tama yun din? Pag hindi pa na naramdaman, soon. Maramdaman mo very, very soon. And imagine if you have a product that will help people stay at the age of 20s until they're 100. Is that good? Yes. Yes or yes? Yes. Let me show you a video featuring that.
Game changer. Visionary technology now promises to end deadly diseases and gives us the key to immortality itself.
We knew that there was a way to intervene with aging at the genetic level.
DNA can absolutely help feed and heal this world across the board.
Spectacular new discoveries are revealing the true power of our genes. This is DNA, the next wave. The race to a new genetic frontier has started. Scientists are finding innovative approaches to gene expression profiling.
Gene expression in science is how a gene functions. When you activate a gene, it will make a protein. Gene expression is related to whether that particular gene is activated or inactivated, if you will, to make less protein.
And these breakthroughs are powering us towards a once impossible goal: identifying the sources of aging.
What we are trying to see now is whether we can actually slow down the aging process in such a way so that these age-related diseases don't happen early on. We are trying to delay the onset of these diseases as much as possible. We are beginning to understand there is a certain gene expression profile that exists when you were in a very youthful state. But as you age over time, that gene expression profile changes, we want to make sure that a gene expression profile stays as close as possible to what you had when you were a 20-year-old.
Academic institutions and privately funded labs are harnessing the huge potential of this science.
The human genome is the book of life, and we have finally been able to understand what is written in this book of life.
But is every one of us truly prepared to predict our own future?
We're only scratching the surface of all the knowledge that we're going to obtain by studying the human genome.
As we consider the implications of this new wave of DNA technology, science is tempting us with the promise of another medical breakthrough. Superhuman life.
Okay, you like it?